Saint of the day, Saint Andrew the Apostle. Saint Andrew, also known as Andrew the Apostle, was a Christian apostle and the older brother of Saint Peter. According to New Testament, Andrew was born in the village of Bethsaida on the Sea of Galilee during the early 1st century. Much like his younger brother Simon Peter, Andrew was also a fisherman. Andrew's very name means strong and he was known for having good social skills. In Gospel of Matthew it is said Jesus was walking along the shore of the Sea of Galilee and saw Andrew and Simon Peter fishing. It is then he asked the two to become disciples and fishers of men. In the Gospel of Luke, Andrew is not initially named. It describes Jesus using a boat believed to be solely Simon's to preach to the multitudes and catch a large amount of fish on a night that originally was dry. Later in Gospel of Luke chapter 5 verses 7 it mentions Simon was not the only fisherman on the boat. But it is not until Luke 6:14 that there is talk of Andrew being Simon Peter's brother. However, the Gospel of John tells a separate story, stating Andrew was a disciple of John the Baptist. When Jesus walked by one day, John the Baptist stated, "Behold the Lamb of God." It is then the Andrew and another made the decision to follow Jesus. Little else is said about Andrew in the Gospel, but it is believed Andrew was one of the closer disciples to Jesus. It was he who told Jesus about the boy with the loaves and fishes according to John 6:8. When Philip wanted to know when Philip wanted to speak to Jesus about Greeks seeking him, he spoke to Andrew first. Andrew was also present at the Last Supper. Per Christian tradition, Andrew went on to preach the good news around the shores of the Black Sea and throughout what is now Greece and Turkey. Andrew was martyred by crucifixion in Patras. He was bound rather than nailed to a cross. It is described in the Acts of Andrew. He was crucified on a cross known as Cruz de Custo, which is an X-shaped cross or a saltire. Today this is commonly referred to as St. Andrew's Cross. It is believed Andrew requested to be crucified this way because he deemed himself unworthy to be crucified on the same type of cross as Jesus. Andrew's remains were originally preserved at Patras. However, some believe St. Regulus, who was monk at Patras, received a vision telling him to hide some of Andrew's bone. Shortly after Regulus' dream, many of Andrew's relics were transferred to Constantinople by order of Roman Emperor Constantinus II around 357. Regulus later received orders in the second dream telling him to take the bones to the ends of the earth. He was to build a shrine for them wherever he shipwrecked. He landed on the coast of Fife, Scotland. In September 1964, Pope Paul VI had all the St. Andrew's relics that ended up in Vatican City sent back to Patras. Now many of St. Andrew's relics and the cross on which he was martyred are kept in Church of St. Andrew in Patras. St. Andrew is the patron saint of fishermen and singers. He is also the patron saint to several countries and cities including Scotland, Romania, Russia, Ukraine and Patras, and his feast day is celebrated on November 30.